thank you very much to invite me here. 2 years ago, I came here and maybe talk with the same team, but today is a bit change about we have more and more projects. And after Anlin have the feature in NhaOplus until now, maybe we have one more issue because we finish almost every week, every month, one project. Yes, and but she told me is I'm busy man, but in fact I am busy with meditation. Before New Year's, I just joined 20-day course of meditation, and after New Year is and then one more course at 8 day, and I'm preparing to join like 1.5 month, like from start from May to the middle of the June. Then let me explain you how important of meditation later. But here is a Vietnamese city situation at this moment, and we talk about first is lacking of greenery, and secondly is almost all our power is with water leaking or some like construction quality is really low. Then and because of architecture detail, and then almost here is like a garbage. I mean in term of, and then the city situation also really crowded with we don't have much like the system of bus or metro, and then all by car and motorbike, and then with then more than 10 million living in Ho Chi Minh City, we have really big problem with the pollution. And then the greenery in Ho Chi Minh, just 0.7 square meter per person is really low compared to the other city in the world. And then we has a lot of problem with pollution or flood or overheat. The most biggest problem is inactive people is increasing very fast in the city. Then our goal is making the city from that situation to the green space like a park through our each project like a house or university or building or hotel or so. Let me explain this first. This is a house for tree. We designed this for my friend. He became inactive because maybe pollution, maybe, and then we designed this for him to have more connect to the nature, and then the because of that, then from the we designed like the tree pot, like a pot with for a big tree with bamboo formwork concrete. It looked a bit close, but from it open to inside, and then yes, and it really greenery went around with the like a steel roof. Then suddenly you can find down a really big green in the middle. Then the house with 5 pot and put into the garden, and then we have many characteristic of the courtyards around, and then from the bathroom to the bathroom only nearby 2 meter, but we would like to let him go out even rain, even sunlight, or but here we don't have the winter like in Berlin. Then the tree pot is like this, and he really minus he living in a small room, don't want to talk with any person, but suddenly he when he lived here he became super plus, and he became normal now and a bit sensitive with because and then 1 week ago his wife sent me a message that is I don't know this house belong to our family or belong to, but because there are many birds coming whole day to, and then they like, and they are really enjoying to living in this house at this moment. And this is the stacking green is a typical house in Vietnam with 4 meter and 20 meter. And we design a house to have the green cover the old house, to have everywhere we have greenery. Then with the stone wool that we cut the small piece of the stone when they make big stone, and then they threw out some of that we cut to make the wool, because the labor cost in Vietnam is still reasonable. Then in here maybe you have double skin, mean glass, air and glass. But in the climate without winter like in Ho Chi Minh, we would like to have green and air and glass. That is more tropical. And this environmental diagram, and then the greenery like a filter to cut this very strong sunlight and the noise and through the wind or something like that. And here is and then this house is we design the with the greenery, and also the make the concrete pattern for the make the double skin by that, and the space with between the greenery and open space and big shadow because of the gap. And we are doing here with the concrete curve, and this also really difficult to make this kind of construction in Vietnam too. Then this is a really traditional way they are making in 20th century building in Vietnam, with like the pattern of concrete like this, and we apply this kind of, but we do the like the concrete and the buffer zone and the space inside. It look like this. And this is recently complete in Vietnam. This also we try to make like the concept of house forestry, to stack many garden in many level together, and then when you go inside the house, you can see many level of the garden together. And here, for example, when we are in the bedroom here, we can see through the dining room, living room, master bedroom. You can see this garden and see through. And here they have 2 boys, and then the requirement is connecting with people and people together. And we think is people and people with human with nature, because nowadays the problem of our society is internet and work a lot, and then we disconnection from the nature. So in this house we design the many level of connecting together of with the wind, with the space, with the greenery, with many level of the greenery and the garden together. And then it's really easy to see each other inside this house, to like to have more connecting with each member in the family and with the nature also. And we do the farming. For example, here is from the master bedroom. You can see dining room, living room, the bedroom there, one step of garden, and then the other garden. And you can call, for example, the children is really easy. And then, yes, here is from the garden to see the dining and the master bedroom, and up is the library. And from the bedroom here, you can see through the garden, dining room, living room, the master bedroom, and the library. And what picture cannot show here is about the sunlight movement and about the wind can through, and then you can feel the connection between. And here from the master bedroom is dining room and living room. Here you can see it, and here is a bedroom. Here is one more bedroom. The first step garden and the other garden is connecting. Uh, uh, yes, and from the garden, from the library, and the next house is in Nha Trang, and this area they require the slope roof first requirement, and 60% of the roof it has to be the tile roof, and then we do the like a step garden to do like a terrace on that, and this also like a small park for the community, and again we still talking about recently in Vietnam is the most important is quality of construction and quality of detail. We talk that is we do something for community, but like 6 months, 1 year later, or is water leaking or damage or something like that. I don't think that is will be the sustainable one. Then we are doing like apply the really simple detail, but how to make the building like 100 year of last long life. Then we designed this house with really thick all of we do also this is really thick and simple brick detail, and between the courtyards and the rooftop, and this many small courtyards to have good ventilation, and we do the rooftop on that, and 40% is the garden, the other uh, place is a terrace for the, and the space inside, and the bedroom and the small courtyards, and this is like a garden for the other building around, but it has 4 bedroom inside is really big space enough. And this one is farming kindergarten. This is for the shoe factory worker. They has more than 20,000 workers working for the shoe factory, and they build this for the we build this for the factory worker children. Then we because there are not a lot of space for the children in Ho Chi Minh City, so we designed this safe carver shape, and the 3 courtyards connecting together, and then it there is a factory, and here is the we do 3 courtyards connecting together and maximize the space to the roof, and we do the farm on the rooftop for the children. They can enjoy the activity of the farming there, because and 3 courtyards is different. For example, 2 to 3 years old, 3 to 4 years old, and 4 to 5 years old, and connecting together. And we do this without. We also design this no air conditioning, and then it keep really low cost. And this one just finished recently. The construction quality is not good enough, but it's still okay. This is done by government company. I mean construction. Then we cannot control the construction detail, but from far it's still not bad. But what we still explain our concept is like this. and we put it in the pot, and we stuck that together, and then we have this system. The system is really simple to have reducing the construction costs and the simple structure, but we still can achieve our concept about the greenery, greening the city. And then now the tree is getting bigger. The tree is ficus, so it's quite easy to get big. And then, yes. So now we are ordered to make the one more campus with the same university in Ho Chi Minh. So with the same, but with 2.3 hectare, then they required to design the university for 5,000 students in half day, and more 5,000 in half day, and then 10,000 here. So we tried to do that the activity space for them. Then we make this like a mountain. Then they have like exercise course and on the rooftop, and also through the building, we make the cut into the through the building for more activity place for them to the roof and go into the building. And we also designed the courtyards. Is really typical tree in Vietnam to make the big like a forest for them to have the place to read book or something like that, and the rooftop like exercise court to go. And this now under construction, and this hotel is just finished recently in Hoi An. The concept is also really simple. Is we put the green box, and this kind of green, it only need 2-3 months to be covered all like cotton like that in our country. So it make by concrete and then sandstone for wool, and the landscape is really only 1,200 square meter, and we make all of the ground floor is open for restaurant for and here is the corridor, and the room is covered by greenery around. And here is we will also finish at the end. No, in summer this building, it also make the open space between each box, and we make the corridor by concrete, and this is a double layout of brick wall. Then this also we try to do like a double brick wall with like insulation, and also the water. And now is all we done all of the frame, and we are now start to making the brick wall at this moment. It's the space between each box, and also the connecting between the box and the courtyards. Like we put the pot, the box 3 pot inside the garden and connecting all of them together by the one place of corridor. This look like this. And we would like to show you some of bamboo work. This is the first pure bamboo structure of us. This 2008, and then at that time we try to make the low cost. It make up by 3,000 bamboo piece. At that time, one piece is less than $1. Then we just spend $3,000 for material at that time. And firstly, we we also try to make like between the water and then we put this in the water to make the good ventilation with this to try to should not use the air conditioning. Then it from 48 unit, and then at the beginning we try to do 1 unit, and then we let them copy to 48 unit, and then we make this is the second. The first is we combine the steel and bamboo, but this is second project is we make all by pure bamboo structure. And after 10 years, we rent the land, and the building condition is still very good. And then we disassembling that to put in the storage, and then maybe we will sell to someone. And then here, because a unit, then we control the construction side is really good. Then after that, we try to achieve the next bamboo structure with cantilever. It with 12-meter cantilever is like this, and with the water around, and it look like we are the space is lower than the water, and then it's like the natural air conditioning system, and it's like this. And the structure is like a wing, and then with 12-meter, and then we have the tension on top, and we make the supporting by tension like this to have to keep the wing is sustainable. And the space is a bit under the water, then you feel you are sitting on the lake. And recently we finished this one in Sơn La. It really far away from the center of Hanoi. It takes 7 hours from there. So we try to use all of the material is, normally we use the other kind of bamboo, but it's far to transport to here. So we try to use this kind of big and straight bamboo in this area. And then one more thing is really hard, challenging is to control the quality of construction in this site. Then we reduce the number of detail. For example, here, one kind of detail, and on top of that, only one detail, and then the supporting there is the same with here, and we make the stone box around this, and the roof by bamboo cover, and then horizontal supporting is by connect to this box or this box, and some of the stone box is lower, then suddenly you have the really close to the roof, the space on that, and then each box, and then you can see through outside, and it connect to the outside like this one, and then it look we try to do the some mock up, and then we do the stone mock up, and we make this building is really simple detail, but yes, we do one kind of only one detail of this kind and copy that to the system, and some is lower than this, and we have this kind of space. And this one is we build this for selling gallery, like a community center, but it for selling the real estate. And then now this remove this to make the big apartment here. And then we did this structure is like a, a net to keep the chicken. I copy that is a bigger scale, and then make the roof outside is a it's the same design, and I just copy that to make it bigger. And this the thing to keep the chicken, and then we make it bigger and make the roof around. Here is exactly the chicken keep one. And is really important of our project is to do the research to make the small house. For the first one, it look beautiful, and we make the test for the construction site office, but this is super hot for our climate, and then we cannot use this. It look beautiful, but it cannot be used in our and then we try to make the next one, this one. This one is a really good quality of construction because we make the precast concrete, and but the problem is each element is too heavy. It too heavy, then heavy make the cost of, we try to make it less than 3,000 each one, and then if it too heavy, the people cannot do by themselves, then suddenly we have to go to build for them, and then it become expensive. Then it's like this. And after that, we try to make it by steel, and each element, it has to be less than 60 kilo. Because, for example, in some area like Mekong Delta or somewhere in Africa or something like that, the truck cannot go in the place to build a house, then two people can take one piece easily. So we design this each element that less than 60 kilo, and then it can be easy to assembling by themselves. And even the foundation, each has to be less than 60 kilo too. And this can be assembling in 3 hours. And we tried, but it still had the problem with the roof and the wall. It will make the costs go up. And then in Vietnam, the reasonable cost will be like 3,000 US dollar per each house. And then we do the same one in Chicago Architecture Biennale, but with the touch. Then we can sell this by only frame. The frame is only 1,000 kilo. 1,000 kilo with the steel, it cost only 1,000 US dollar for directly cost. I mean the cost of all frame and window is only 1,000 US dollar. Then people, if they are in poor area, they can make the roof, or they can make the wall by themselves, by touch or something like that. And this, we show this in Chicago Architecture Biennale. And yes, this is a final thing. And then we are now trying to make the city from this situation to that situation by each project, and even the small house, even the university or the master plan. And we also trying to convince the government to release the regulation that some area they make the green roof ROI without permission or something like that. And then recently in Hanoi, they try to plant a lot of greenery for the city. So thank you very much.
Obviously, I have some notes ready, but while you were talking, I made extra notes. And one note was, what a modest and honest way of sharing this enormous scope of work. I mean, you really, it's like, this is my first reaction. And it's a very nice way how you kind of tell us in a very, honest and modest way about all the projects. And I like and share your concern and approach to address the problems, like the problems of pollution, and climate change in dense cities. This is what triggers you, I guess. I remember at this symposium you gave us this one quotation saying that for a modern architect, the most important mission is to bring green spaces back to the earth. It sounds really radical and strong, but that's what you do. You really succeed in doing this. So I think you're right. Architects should address a more holistic approach to their work and be aware that ecosystems in cities are a big issue to think about, and it's about the future life of this planet, human life and beyond. So you call it the disconnection. I call it the coexistence of human beings and nature is out of balance, but I think it's the same problem we are talking about. And so each project should try to reverse the damage and to support sustainability and resilience of ecosystems. So I think that's what you're doing. You're trying to reconnect and repair and rebalance human and nature in the built environment. So you perfectly, you're full of perfect example for the term of horticulture. And Lil was mentioning that 2014 I started to build up a research around this term that actually derives from hortus, the garden in Latin, and architecture. And that's trying to look for combinations of architecture and plant material and the synergies that derive from that. So it's not only the impact on the environment, which is full of benefits, but it's also the impact on the architectural design. And you're one of the few architects who really succeed in developing an aesthetic and a poetic power in the work. There's a lot of architects who just use the green to hide the architecture.
Yes.
But I think that's not what you do. And so in the research for horticulture, I have a few like manifesto points, whatever, and you have examples for each of them. The first one is the sustainability and resilience of plant material. I mean, you really build, you construct with plant material, you use it for cladding, for insulation, for everything, and you do it in a very elegant way. I mean, you just call it chicken hatch, but it's much more. I mean, it's a very, very beautiful construction. And you also manage, and I think that's going to be more important in the future, you manage to integrate vernacular wisdom into your language of architecture. And it still has the crispness of modern architecture, but it also has that old wisdom. So I think that's a very beautiful construction. And truly, a vegetative material is a cradle-to-cradle material we should look at. And the high level of resilience of your first bamboo reef house you were showing from 2008 is not only that it still looks very nice, you will also transport it to another place, if I'm correct. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
So this is even more than cradle-to-cradle mobile. Okay, so, and then it's the second point is the aesthetic and the sensual power of plants. I mean, you have shown very nice, very poetic compositions of all kinds. I mean, everyone has just seen the projects, and you also seem to be able to deal with the problem of plants being dynamic. Some architects hate the idea of combining a growing plant with architecture because they cannot fully control what it looks like. So how do you feel like it? I mean, how do you deal with the intrinsic dynamic of plants growing? Do you make make them cut them at certain points, or how does your stack building look after a while, or in between, or?
Yeah, yes, we recently the architect is using greenery to put on architecture is a lot, but the situation in Vietnam is still easy because we lacking up greenery in the city, so people love the greenery than ever. Then
Okay.
like their habit is to take care of the greenery to release their the stress, and then it's really easy to do that hotel or university or something like that because but in the house they they do the farm on their house because we also have the problem with the chemical for the food, I mean the vegetable. Then they use like on the top of the house like bean house or something like that, they do the vegetable farming on that, and then they take that for their food every day, and then of course they take care the greenery easily. Yes.
Yeah, that's actually my third point that horticulture looks at is the healing power of plants. Yeah, and you have proven with your house for trees that your architecture can be a therapy for this friend of yours who had some burnout problem, who was kind of revived with your architecture.
Yes, then he's got angry with me all the time because he has to go to the toilet because of raining, because of sunlight, and go to the food to take the food, and then suddenly he became super active, and then now he's became normal but a bit sensitive, and then it's quite interesting to see. And recently there a couple always send me is they are really happy to be in the house, and just 1 week ago she said that is too many birds in my house and I don't know who is the owner. They are the owner or the bird is the owner of the house because they, you see around without greenery, and suddenly a lot of greenery there and bird is coming, and I don't know, I really don't know exactly the didn't know like the power of architecture can help people change their mentality problem like that. And if we have that kind of thing, and then maybe the people in the city is less of stressful.
Yeah, it's definitely releasing stress, I guess,
Yeah, yeah.
and also taking care for plants is
Yeah.
something nice, you know, that
Yeah.
has healing power in itself. It's actually quite interesting that you mention the birds coming to the house, because I learned from Stefano Boeri in Milano that his Bosco Verticale also attracted more animals than he invited. Like he just wanted plants, and there was insects coming and birds coming, and the whole biodiversity circle started with putting so many trees on
Yes.
the house. So
Yes.
I think architects cannot control the thing to the full extent.
Yeah.
So have you had problems with insects or other creatures following the plants?
I think they have, especially with vegetable farm on that, insect will eat that, but they use the alcohol with chili and with garlic put together to put, then the insect go.
Okay.
That's the way they are doing, like really organic,
Yeah.
yeah, to keep their vegetable.
Yeah, when you when you started, you showed the very dense city of Ho Chi Minh City, and that you try to really improve the urban climate by just putting more nature, yeah, and that is actually true. There is ecosystem services that can be provided by plants, and at the Technical University of Braunschweig, we cooperate with ecosystem specialists and biodiversity specialists, and we started teaching in seminars, teaching architects along with it, because you can measure the quantity of the absorbed pollution, about the absorbed carbon dioxide, particulate matters, and you can cool temperature and absorb water. I mean, these are really ecosystem services that plants can provide. But these benefits, like taking the particulate matter out of the air that we breathe, if we then eat it in the vegetable, how do you feel about that? About the pollution? Doesn't the pollution end up in your body if you eat the urban farming products?
I think that still better than if you eat the vegetable that is they put the chemical thing in, and then it's not safety for the chemical thuốc sâu là gì? I think to kill the insect.
Pesticides.
And then it not in enough time, and then they cut, they sell to people to eat. That is a really popular problem in Vietnam, and it can make like cancer or something like that. And then people believe that to make the farm on their house is still safe because they don't have such kind of chemical problem. But as you said, maybe I don't think about that problem that is urban farming has some problem of. You mean the pollution will make
the smog of the city will kind of end up in the plant.
Yes.
But you're definitely right that producing plants for food close to the consumer is a good idea in any city. That's why agriculture, the new ways of agriculture in urban vertical farms will grow in importance.
The problem in Vietnam is more serious because people don't have place to work, don't have place to play sport. Then doing the farm like a way they are doing the sport and relax themselves. Otherwise, we are the country that is beer consumption is the number one in the world because we don't have place to have the exercise or activity. So I think urban farming is not only for food or something like that, but also to help people to have like exercise, more and more exercise. Maybe Anh Linh know very well about Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi's traffic and system, and no place to play the sport.
Yeah, but it's very nice. I remember when you talked about the kindergarten next to the shoe factory, that you, I mean, no one asked you to do an urban farming roof on top, but you realized that the children growing up in the very dense city, they don't know where the food comes from. You know, you wanted that awareness, you know, so it's like an extra benefit in your architecture that has some educational approach.
Yeah, that is, we are in fact agriculture country, but all of them move very fast to the city for being the worker at the factory or shoe factory or something like that. And suddenly the worker itself, they also really stressful, not only the children. Then they use that farm to like refresh themselves like a farmer. Then the children can enjoy that process. But unluckily, the management team in the kindergarten, they run not very well. They for the farming on that.
Yeah, that's the problem with architecture. Sometimes it's full of good ideas, but they have to be put to life and kept alive. Yeah, but you're definitely one of the few architects who can prove that what I understand with the term of horticulture, that architecture can activate the potential of plant material. You really show in all of your lovely examples, and I especially like the new ones. It's incredible that within 2 years you have produced 5 very interesting new examples that I have to put in my research catalog.
Now we finish every month one process.
Oh my God. Okay. But I'm very happy that you do that. And I wonder, when you told me that you train the worker to actually build the quality you need, right?
Yes.
And especially if you think of the integration of plant and soil and water management, that is full of possible problems of leakage and all kinds of problems. So what kind of consultants do you have to integrate into your teams? Is it, who else but architects and builders do you need in your teams?
I think I need in a team is the researcher who calculate exactly wind, exactly the air quality or like sunlight quality or something like that, because we are designed not only like only greenery, but we carefully think about the wind quality and the space to connect the human being with the nature. That is we need we are super busy with making, not have some like research or survey to know carefully about the quality of environment in that kind of power or space we create. Yes.
Yeah, we are kind of jealous that the way or the borderline between inside and outside, you can really playfully open.
Yeah.
In our climate, it's a little more difficult.
Yes. Yes, but in here, the most important thing is the same in Japan is the construction technique is really good. So I mean, in the good way, and in here is also have the advantage to achieve the building.
But if you think of architecture, normally what people think of is that you take a piece of green land and put an architectural object on top. Yeah, that's kind of a traditional thinking that is connected to architecture. But what you do, you actually use that part of the green land and put something on top, but you multiply the green because you don't just kill the green or sterilize or seal it.
Yeah.
You just, by putting roofs and extra gardens and kind of redefining the spatial quality of the architectural object and the outside green, that is definitely the strongest in your work.
Yeah, I think we destroy the farm to make the building, then we destroy almost that forever. So we think how to green back that place, and also the most important thing is I tell you is about make the human more connecting to the nature, because nowadays we always with smartphone, with computer, with like that, and then we always misunderstanding because we disconnect. We are always busy. We are always like a bit stressful. Then war happen everywhere in the world, and terror, and then we like we need to go back to the nature, and then we need to more like harmonize with the nature, and of course human being is a part of nature. Then we are more understand each other by go back to the nature, and of course by meditation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about meditation a bit. So you mentioned in the beginning that you will talk about meditation, but you didn't. So what's the point of meditation? And when I visited your office, all staff member was required to do a meditation course to enter the office. And also each morning you have a meditation like 20, 30 minutes before you start working.
So no, 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah.
So how many time do you spend for meditation in relationship to architecture?
We do 2 hours a day, yes. Then 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon to refresh ourselves. And it's a really simple thing. Is we all normally we can focus only 3 to 5 seconds, and a lot of thinking going when you close your eye, right? Then if you do the meditation, then it suddenly become 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute, and you feel super big difference when you can focus 1 minute without thinking, and with 3 second or 5 second. But at long as you practice, it can be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and like me now, I can focus like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Then I still join one more 1.5 month course very soon, because if I think recently I don't spend time for thinking about the idea anymore, and then suddenly when we do the sketching and it's come out, or we have the meeting, and I save a lot of time for the thinking of the concept, and I spend that time for meditation, and then I feel the relationship between me and the client, and between me and even the worker, and between me to the staff is really easy, and almost no trouble, and then we can achieve a lot of building. And our worker also do meditation 2 hours a day too. That's why they can help me to do super good quality of construction site. So you tell me I am busy, but in fact I can spend 45 days to meditation, because before that if we do all of the concept and then let them finish that within 45 days, and then we go out and then check that again.
That's a good concept.
Let me just ask you one question. I learned an intercultural lesson here, but how many active hours do you have in a day? Maybe you sleep less.
If when we do meditation, of course we don't need to sleep a lot. But yes,
Okay.
that is one thing. But we also can sleep a lot if we want. Yes, I can sleep really easily, because when we focus on breathing, and it become calm, quite easy to falling asleep within 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, and then wake up soon, and then I don't feel hurry up with anything, because it become before coming here, my mother has a problem with operation his head, but I feel no nervous, just delay 1 day, and then take her to hospital, and then
I
come
was
here.
nervous.
But what I mean is we release of the nervous, we nearly release of fear, we release of anxiety, and then we save a lot of time. And then, for example, in our mind is with 95% of thinking, almost like unnecessary thinking. If we reduce that to 50%, that means the capacity of us is 100 times bigger. Yes, and then we can achieve a lot of work, and at the same time, I think so. And then now, one time our staff is around 70, but now it's become like 40. But our project is become double. But we can do together one staff with 1 or 2 or 3 projects is running at the same time. But they still not stressful, and
Okay, that sounds really cool.
it sounds really cool.
I remember at the symposium I also invited MVRDV, and Jakob van Ries was telling us about the plants bringing the happiness factor to the projects. But you know the second secret is the meditation. It's the plant combined with meditation.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to upgrade that as well in the office.
Yeah, meditation have like me. I was really easy to get angry, but nowadays become really normal person, because I'm really get easy to get angry with anything, because I cannot satisfy with the construction quality. design quality or even the client level in Vietnam is still like developing. I mean, so but now no nervous with that. Yes, it can be calm and then so many problem together, and then let's come to Vietnam to see our office. They are meditating. Yes.
Maybe get back to to architecture again to finish up. What do you think are the most important needs of the Vietnamese society at the moment in terms of architecture, and how can architects help to develop?
I think in our society, the biggest problem now is the quality of the building. I mean, in term both is design and construction. Is a really bad trend in this moment is the building is just for the picture. I mean, and maybe you come back and then you can see that the building only like 1, 2, 3 years, and then it have problem with the water leaking or something like that, and then it's really so what we do now is we try to make like 100 year of the building by simple detail, and then even plan on the roof, but it's no problem. We do the double roof, and then the water system is really easy to maintain or something like that. And I think in our city at the first picture is all the building like a garbage, because it all have the water problem or because the humidity, and then it with the water problem, and the building quality is really bad, and we would like to do something like with really good quality of the building. I think so.
And I would also talk about the vernacular knowledge,
Yeah.
especially important for your bamboo projects. And can you tell us a bit about the technique? Because is it something you have to rediscover, reinvent yourself, or are there locally still knowledgeable people you can tap and win over for your projects? So how to keep bamboo in such a humid climate, not for 100, but for a few decades, for example. So what are the techniques to preserve these kind of natural materials?
The bamboo is really simple. First, they don't like water. So for any reason, you should not show them to the rain. People now, for example, you do the wall and you do the roof like this, and suddenly water come from here, and with the big rain, and maybe come from here to damage the bamboo. So bamboo don't need the water. And secondly, if you shrug it into the river with 3 months and then smoke it into black, and then it can keep really long life. Yes.
So what is, we always saw why the bamboo was so dark is it was smoked.
Yeah, we're smoking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you put it into the river?
I think in the bamboo they have a lot of sugar,
Okay.
and then put the river, sugar comes out, and pH inside that is high. Then insect cannot eat
And
that.
so it's
Yeah.
to prevent insects to eat up
Yeah.
the material.
And with a lot of water in, and then I think humidity is not very big problem. But the big problem is keep the bamboo in the right way, with not influenced by the water. Yes.
So, do you have questions for Mr. Vo? I mean, it was really comfortable for me to sit here and get a midterm crit by I moved in a way, but maybe you have some questions or comments. There are a lot of people outside also at the screen, but
Wow.
we don't see them. So maybe inside the room, no?
There.
Where? Ah, okay, sorry.
Hi, I have a question about your clients because while I watch your projects, my idea of have you ever had a public client? I mean, in Vietnam you have this one Partei.
Pardon?
Yeah, yeah, and I just because the universities you showed they are all private, right? The FPT University is a private organization.
Yeah, private university.
Yeah.
I still cannot do the government project because a bit complicated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. And why is it that you can't get into the public section of projects?
I cannot tell you here.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe something you need. I don't know. Yes,
I mean,
they.
it's really interesting in terms of the German perspective because there are lots of German big architecture firms building public buildings in Vietnam, like GMP. So most of the big government contracts are built by companies from Asia or Europe.
We can do that also easily, but you know they need something. We cannot do because it really conflict with meditation. If we no to do the meditation, first requirement is we have to keep like pure mind, like no killing the other thing, no steal thing, no don't cannot do this. Then if like that is hard to deal with the public project in it hard to say, but do you understand? Yes,
Yes.
or no?
So I tell it. So corruption is a problem
So it really
to get
hard.
into the public sector. So okay, that's. What about any more? Yes.
This is hard to answer.
Hello. I'm from Thailand, Bangkok, and then there's the same weather like you in Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi. And I have worked for many years in Bangkok as an architect, and I have a question about the clients because in your architecture it's like a new language way of architecture, and like living in air conditioner is like it's not we live like a trend in tropical, so like now we are living always in the air condition with air conditioner, and then I just want to know how you convince or how you talk to the clients and convince them to more connection to the nature. Like
I think in the Bangkok is same situation. We are super nervous with the city situation, with traffic jam, with no greenery, and suddenly they have the green space in their house or something like that. They happy with that, and then they almost don't use the air conditioning, 100%. But I think the first project was really difficult to convince them. We have to do that for free first. And then they let us to do what we want to do, and then certainly after that a lot of order to build a project like a house, like hotel with greenery. Yes, and then nowadays they think that is come to our office with a lot of greenery, and then they know that at the beginning, so we don't have to take time to convince them anymore.
So success is a convincing argument. Yes. Oh, yes. There were some more. Okay.
Many more.
Was there a client for the house S, like all the series, or did you do it by your own initiative? Like, was there an institution that asked you to do these houses?
Pardon?
The house S, the ones that the people can build by themselves?
Yes. No, we are doing the research for a long time for the S house, because first it has to be low cost. What I mean is about low cost is it less than 3,000 at the beginning. Now we can do it even cheaper than 3,000 US dollar, and because it has to be low cost, so it has to be easy to assembling.
But why did you do it? Why? So what was the initiative?
No, we are now at the process of researching. Not we don't have any client.
So it's a private initiative.
Yeah, we do by our company, and then it has to be low cost. It has to be easy to assembling. Otherwise, we need the people to go to assembling. Then cost it come off, and then it has to be durable, because low income people, they spend whole life to make house again and again because the quality, and then we still in the process to design, and then next version will be stronger, and our goal is around 2,000 US dollar. Then we start to sell, and then nowadays a lot of order around the world at this moment, but we will still keep research them for a while to start to sell.
And just to have the comparison, how much does it cost to build the house for trees? So how much money do you need to build such a house?
Our for tree is 156,000 US dollar to build.
Okay.
And then the low cost house is 2,000.
That's a perspective. Okay.
Yeah. But I was really poor when I was a child, and I remember the house is cannot durable a long time, and then poor people always spend their whole life for build a house again and again and again. And then what we want to do is even small house, but it can keep super long time. But then we do that by steel, galvanized steel with high quality to can be kept like
Thank you.
50 years or something like that.
One more. Wait.
Do you have any projects in the future in Europe or in a colder climate? And I'm curious how you would translate your ideas of, because all the architecture requires such warm climate with openness of the architecture and the house itself and the connection with nature. How would you bring that to a colder climate, and do you have any plans to do that?
We do a lot of in China in really cold area, and let's see how I can deal with that very soon. It will be finished very soon. Yeah, I do like a nearby 10 project in China at this moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the next question. I see that so far you have a few projects in the north of Vietnam, and I know that the weather in the north of Vietnam it's pretty different from the weather in the south. So how did you deal with that? Because it's like in the north of Vietnam, the weather is just like the humidity is more like the humidity is high, and it's raining, and I mean how to deal with that?
The FPT campus in Hanoi, and then it's a bit, you can see a bit close, and then with tree pot together, and then that kind of tree is super love humidity, that is ficus. So we deal with is a really easy way, and then also bamboo wing, the bamboo, that's a really open space with really successful. A lot of people come, like 1,000 people come a day to that project. And then it really successful to deal with the climate. And then recently, the winter has become shorter and shorter in northern too. And then it almost become like Ho Chi Minh City, like in Hanoi. Yes.
Some more questions? We have 5 more minutes to go.
5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. In the back. Sorry. Can I just hand it over?
I would like to ask if you think the ideas of your architecture, I would like to ask if you think the ideas of the architecture that you are presenting can be also somehow transformed in the areas that they have warm and dry air, which they don't have the amount of rainfall that you have in Vietnam. But at the same time, like, we are all human beings and we like greenery, but in some areas, the rainfall and the natural rainfall cannot permit you to use a lot of trees. But do you think that you can find a solution also for that type of climate?
Yes. Hot and dry climate, yes, like India or somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think I saw a really beautiful architecture is from Sri Lanka by Yelfi Bawa. He make the building like on the bottom is small and it become bigger and bigger. It look like the building itself is look like a tree, and then it make a really big shadow with that, and then good ventilation, and then it comes suddenly it's really good with the hot and dry climate. And also the trees work very well with that kind of the climate, I think so. But you should change the tree from not ficus. Ficus love a lot of water. They need a lot of water, but they also can live in dry area. But it should be changed like bougainvillea. Bougainvillea, they don't need much water or something like that. But for any reason, for the dry and hot weather, it has to be big shadow and good ventilation. And ventilation is not directly ventilation, but like some way a bit indirectly through the tree or through the louver, or you make the buffer zone for between the outside and the shadow zone and inside, and then suddenly is really comfortable. And some like the chicken net, that one is different from outside to inside, like 5 or 10 degree Celsius. Then it really work with the hot and dry area. Yes.
So it's about, as I said in the beginning, architectural strategies to deal with the climate. And with that, I would like to end the evening because it's getting really hot inside here. And so thank you very much, Vo Trong Nghia, for this insightful
Thank you very
talk.
much. Thank you. So remember to increase your focusing by focus on your breathing all the time. As long as you can.
Next time we will do a meditation course. Thank you very much, Almut Kuduk-Ernst. It was really good to have you here with your very specific point of view. I would like to also thank our partner Goethe Institute again for this wonderful collaboration, and also our initiative partner Siedle and our sponsors Dornbrachter and Euroboden. Without them, we would not be able to do this kind of events. And also, I would like to thank our media partner Architektur Clips at the back. They are supporting us documenting the whole series since 2010, where we started the series here in this space with the first edition of the NhaOplus features, so it's good to be back here. And I would like also to thank my colleague Quanton Ta, who was the project leader of the 2 issues and who helped me communicating with the . I would like to thank also the entire NhaOplus team who are working very dedicated on different things, not only the magazine, but also the events and our other projects. So I would like to thank Nicolas Kühnert for his continuing commitment to the magazine, Christine Rüb, Christian Hiller, Sarah Lusic-Alavagna, Max Kaldenhoff, Mirko Gatti, Florian Bengert, Philipp Krüpe, Alexandra Nehmer. Und heute besonders möchte ich Mr. Wirn danken, Dat Wirn und Andreas Bodenstein, die das ermöglicht haben, dass wir gleich auch kulinarisch, vietnamesisch dann den Abend beschließen können. Vielen, vielen Dank. Und das nächste Mal sind wir am 5.4. in Erfurt, da werden Sie wahrscheinlich nicht dabei sein. Und am 27.4. gibt es ein ganz tolles Feature im Silent Green in dem ehemaligen Krematorium in Wedding. Da werden wir mit Thomas Kröger und Peter Heimel und der IBA Thüringen ein Stadt-Land-Feature haben. Also, herzlich willkommen, 27.04. und einen schönen Abend noch. Dankeschön.